The more you chase external validation in relationships, the more internal emptiness you reap. Radha reveals, true love blossoms not from another's gaze, but from the unwavering light of your own self. You find yourself perhaps caught in a perpetual cycle, an intricate dance of hope and disappointment, where every connection begins with exhilarating potential, only to dissolve into the familiar ache of abandonment or emotional distance. There's a quiet exhaustion that sets in, a weariness from constantly adapting, trying to be the perfect woman, calm, independent, alluring, yet consistently feeling like a mere option, never the ultimate choice. This silent anguish, this deep-seated fear of not being chosen, of your intensity being too much, it gnaws at your sense of peace. Many of us confuse the intoxicating rush of initial chemistry with the profound, steady current of true connection. We fall in love with a projection, a beautiful tapestry woven from our own hopes and desires, rather than seeing the man for who he truly is. This is where the wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda and the profound insights of Raja Yoga begin to illuminate a path. Yogananda taught that the greatest love we can experience is the divine love within us, and that all human love is a reflection, however imperfect, of that ultimate reality. Your spiritual journey, your yearning for peace and emotional sovereignty, isn't something to be found in another's embrace. It is the very essence of yourself, waiting to be rediscovered. This is not about finding someone to complete you, but about understanding that you are already whole. The path from pain to awakening in love is not one of external conquest, but of internal mastery. It demands that you shift your focus from attempting to control the unpredictable currents of another's mind to mastering the tempestuous waters of your own. This channel is a sanctuary for those who are weary of superficial advice, who yearn for something deeper than fleeting tactics for making him chase you. We honor the silent suffering of the modern woman, the profound battle between the sovereign you that recognizes its inherent worth and the needy mind that desperately seeks external validation. Here, we delve into the spiritual roots of frustration, the true nature of attachment, and the repetitive patterns that seem to haunt your romantic landscape. We embrace the discipline of Raja Yoga and the devotion of Bhakti to guide you towards an unshakable inner core, a sovereignty that transcends the ebb and flow of any relationship. Your devotion is not to an external idol, but to the awakening of your own spirit. The profound discomfort of feeling unseen or unheard, even when physically present with a partner, can be one of the most isolating experiences. It leads to that corrosive doubt. Is this connection real, or am I just fantasizing? This silent agony often stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of what truly constitutes a connection, particularly in the initial exhilarating phases of a relationship. What many perceive as undeniable chemistry can, in fact, be a deep-seated karmic echo, a powerful pull towards a familiar pattern, rather than a conscious dharmic alignment. The mind, in its desire for belonging and completion, often projects ideals onto another, clinging to a potential, rather than embracing the authentic reality of the individual. This is where the teachings of Raja Yoga become profoundly liberating. As Yogi Ramacharaka illuminated, the mind is a powerful instrument, but often an undisciplined one. Its vrittis, or fluctuations, create a world of perceived reality that can be far removed from the actual truth. When we experience an intense pull towards another, the mind, driven by subconscious desires and unresolved karmic imprints, can generate a powerful illusion of destiny or soulmate connection. This is not to diminish the beauty of genuine attraction, but to invite a deeper, more lucida observation. Is this chemistry drawing you into a pattern of chakt apego, or is it genuinely propelling you towards your type dharma? The Bhagavad Gita speaks of the importance of performing action without attachment to its fruits. In relationships, this translates to engaging with an open heart, yet without clinging desperately to a specific outcome or identifying your self-mirrors with the success or failure of the bond. When we mistake a karmic pattern for a soul connection, we become entangled in the fruits, the emotional highs, the validation, the imagined future, rather than observing the deeper lessons the universe is presenting. This can lead to the exhausting cycle of trying to fix or change another person, believing that if they would only meet your projected ideal, your pain would cease. But the pain persists because the lesson is internal, not external. The illusion is not in him, but in your mind's identification with the non-you, the desires, fears, and unmet needs that project themselves onto the canvas of the relationship. This is the alchemical question we must pose. What part of your true self is this recurring pain revealing? Is it an invitation to observe the subconscious programs that drive your choices, to understand the subtle ways in which your mind seeks to repeat familiar narratives, even if they lead to suffering? The intensity of a connection, the feeling of knowing someone immediately, can often be a signal of a shared karmic thread, a lesson that needs to be fully understood and integrated, not just blindly repeated. To truly awaken in love means to discern between the compelling illusion born of karmic loops and the clear-sighted path of your sovereignty, where your will guides you towards relationships that serve your highest your dharma, free from the intoxicating but ultimately unfulfilling dance of projection and unfulfilled desire, the paralyzing fear that grips you when he goes silent when the expected response doesn't arrive is a universal anguish for many. It's the moment your value feels utterly dependent on an external signal, and the mind spirals into narratives of abandonment and unworthiness. But what if this very silence, this profound absence, is not a void to be feared, but a sacred space for a powerful Raja Yoga practice? This challenging external situation offers an unparalleled opportunity to reclaim your inner sovereignty and forge your will. As the Yogananda taught, true peace arises from within, not from the shifting sands of external circumstances or the actions of others. Your peace is not a reaction to his presence, but a deliberate act of your own consciousness. The common reaction is to fill the silence with obsessive thoughts, to replay conversations, or to project catastrophic scenarios. This is the undisciplined mind, the vriddis, asserting their dominance. The true error lies in allowing your inner state to be dictated by an external factor. Instead of trying to control his mind, the path of Krishna's sovereignty that teaches you to master your own. This is where the power of conscious observation, a cornerstone of Raja Yoga, transforms the experience of waiting from one of anxiety to one of profound self-mastery. Consider this a micro-exercise, a deliberate act of turning your attention inward. Here is a 3-step micro-exercise to transform the anxiety of waiting into a potent moment of inner power. 1. Observe the surge. Don't judge it. When the silence from him triggers that familiar wave of anxiety, the urge to check your phone, or to craft the perfect follow-up message, simply stop. Don't judge yourself for feeling it. Instead, observe it as an objective phenomenon. Notice the physical sensations in your body, the tightness in your chest, the knot in your stomach, the racing thoughts. Label them. This is anxiety. This is the mind seeking control. Do not identify with it. Remind yourself, this is a reaction of my non-you, my egoic mind, not the truth of my you. 2. Shift your attention to the breath. Gently but firmly redirect your focus from the external silence and your internal narrative to your breath. Breathe deeply and consciously for a few moments. As you inhale, imagine drawing in peace and sovereignty. As you exhale, release the tension and the need for external validation. This simple act is a powerful assertion of your will over the restless mind. It's a statement that your inner state is your domain, not his. 3. Activate your inner sanctuary. With your mind calmer, consciously choose to engage in an activity that nourishes your temporary self. This is not a distraction, but a redirection of your energy from outward seeking to inward cultivation. It could be meditation, a creative pursuit, reading, or connecting with nature. This practice strengthens the muscle of your William and reinforces the understanding that your completeness is an internal act. The silence from him becomes, paradoxically, a sacred retreat, a powerful catalyst for you to finally hear the voice of your own sovereign self. This is how you transform carencia into genuine attraction, by radiating a profound sense of inner wholeness. Many sensitive, introspective women find themselves in a distressing loop, repeating the same relationship patterns, attracting similar types of challenges, despite their conscious efforts to choose differently. This isn't a flaw in your character. It's often a powerful manifestation of karma, a deep-seated spiritual lesson presenting itself again and again for resolution. The pain of feeling broken, or that something is wrong with me, for not being able to sustain a healthy relationship is profoundly validating. However, the wisdom of Vedanta and the concept of Dharma offer a liberating perspective. Your relationship journey is a profound spiritual classroom designed to help your self evolve beyond old days. Imprints. The teachings on karma explain that our past actions, thoughts, and even intentions create energetic imprints that lead to future experiences. In relationships, this often manifests as repetitive dynamics. Perhaps you consistently attract partners who are emotionally unavailable, or you find yourself always giving more than you receive, or perhaps a pattern of abandonment resurfaces across different relationships. These are not coincidences, but echoes of unlearned lessons, patterns waiting to be transmuted. The ultimate goal isn't to escape these experiences, but to observe them with lucidez, understand their underlying spiritual message, and then consciously choose a different path. This is an act of sovereignty, declaring that your will can break free from the past. Your dharma, on the other hand, is your soul's unique purpose, your inherent nature and sacred duty. In relationships, understanding your dharma means aligning your choices with your highest truth, not with fear of loneliness or the desperate desire for external validation. A relationship is karmic if it continually brings up the same unresolved issues, forcing you to confront your shadow self, your fears, and your deepest wounds. A relationship becomes dharmic when it supports your growth, empowers your self, and helps you fulfill your highest potential, even if it brings challenges that refine your character. The profound shift from repeating karma to living your dharma in love begins with courageous self-inquiry. Instead of asking, "Why does this always happen to me?" ask, "What is this pattern trying to teach myself?" For instance, if you repeatedly experience the pain of feeling like an option, not a choice, your karmic lesson might be about cultivating your sovereignty, understanding that your worth is intrinsic, not derived from another's decision. Your dharma in that moment would be to choose practices and relationships that reinforce your wholeness rather than those that highlight perceived deficiencies. This is a path of liberation. It's not about finding the right person to escape the pattern. It's about becoming the sovereign self who no longer resonates with the pattern, thereby attracting relationships that mirror your awakened state. By understanding the spiritual purpose behind your romantic struggles, you begin to transmute the pain into pure power, transforming the very fabric of your relationship reality through conscious will and devotion to your own dharma. We began by challenging the common misconception that external pursuit leads to internal fulfillment in love. The paradox remains: the more desperately you seek validation outside, the less you cultivate the true sovereignty within. Radha, with her profound and unconditional devotion, reminds us that the deepest love originates from an unwavering connection to the divine within, a self-miger that is complete and whole regardless of external circumstances. The journey from pain to awakening in love is not about magically attracting a perfect partner, but about dismantling the illusions that obscure your own inherent brilliance. We explored how what feels like undeniable chemistry can often be a karmic's echo, a familiar pattern replaying for resolution, rather than an immediate sign of part dharma. We uncovered the profound opportunity that arises in moments of external silence or perceived abandonment, transforming these periods of anxiety into powerful Raja Yoga micro-exercises, asserting your Te will bows over the mind's conditioned reactions. And we delved into the spiritual purpose behind repetitive relationship patterns, recognizing them not as failures, but as karmic lessons guiding you towards your true dharma. The essence of this path, as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda, is the realization that your ultimate sovereignty resides in your self, the you. This is the part of you that remains untouched by rejection, unmoved by the opinions of others, and unshakable in its inherent worth. The practice is not to eradicate emotions, for they are instruments of your experience, but to observe them without identification, to understand that the pain of a breakup, the sting of feeling unseen, or the frustration of repeating patterns are experiences of the non-you, the mind, the emotions, the body, that your true self can witness without being diminished or defined by them. This path demands devotion, not just to another, but to the awakening of your own consciousness. It calls for the discipline of Raja Yoga, training your mind to be an obedient servant of your willaro, rather than a capricious master. The call is for profound self-observation, to watch the thoughts of craving, anxiety, and apego arise, acknowledge them, and then gently but firmly redirect your attention back to your own inner center. This is the ultimate act of chi sovereignty, the true source of lasting peace and profound attraction. Consider the vast, silent expanse of the cosmos. Planets revolve around a central sun, each in its predetermined orbit, held in perfect balance. Similarly, your true sight self, or your you, is the central sun of your inner universe. Your thoughts, emotions, and external relationships are like the planets, constantly moving, yet meant to revolve in harmony around your unshakable core. When you allow your emotions or the actions of another to pull you off your axis, you create internal chaos. The path of Raja Yoga teaches you to consciously reclaim your central position, to become the sovereign observer of your own mental and emotional landscape. Paramahansa Yogananda often spoke of divine love as an ocean, and human love as but a drop. Yet, every drop contains the essence of the ocean. The suffering we experience in relationships is often the friction of two drops, attempting to merge, clinging to each other in a desperate effort to feel whole, instead of realizing they are already part of the vast, infinite ocean of love that is the divine. Radha's Kraudi's devotion to Krishna was not born of dependency, but of a profound spiritual understanding that her inner reality was intertwined with the divine. Her love was a reflection of her own awakened self, a love that transcended worldly expectations and manifested as sovereignty, even in moments of perceived separation. This journey is an alchemy, transmuting the lead of apego and dependency into the gold of inner liberation. Every challenge, every silent moment, every repeated pattern is an invitation from the universe to turn inward, to apply the principles of Raja Yoga, and to cultivate the anwilamagtabi, autocentrata. It is a continuous practice of observing the mind, calming its fluctuations, and gently, yet firmly, returning your awareness to the stillness of your self. This is how you awaken to the profound truth of who you are, realizing that the love you seek in another is already dwelling, limitless and eternal, within your own heart. This is the ultimate war devotion to your Awaker Dharma. If this profound exploration into the spiritual path of love resonated with your inner Awa self and stirred a desire for deeper understanding, we invite you to continue this journey with us. This is not a path of quick fixes, but one of conscious Awaker sovereignty and deep introspection. We believe in the Bard's power of shared reflection and collective growth. If this video made you reflect with your own self, if it illuminated a new perspective on your relationship patterns, then we encourage you to like this video. Share this new reflection with those who might benefit and be part of our community. Share your experiences in the comments below. What is one karmic pattern you've identified in your relationships? How has the concept of your inner sovereignty started to shift your perspective? Your insights contribute to a sangha, a spiritual community where genuine wisdom is shared and the path to emotional liberation is walked together.